Hello everybody, this is Megan and this is week 3, our third lesson of Business English. Today's class is telephone calls. Again guys, like last week, I have 15 minutes to leave this message, so you can pause the video at various points to do the exercises. Okay, so let's go. What are we going to do this week? Well, this week we will leave a message, ask for information, ask to speak to another, refer the call on to another, ask for clarification and give information according to company profile, give directions and use informal and formal language as appropriate. So today we are covering both initiating a phone call and responding to a phone call. Okay, so let's go. So firstly guys, we're going to look at initiating a phone call. So, let's have a quick discussion. How do you initiate or begin a phone call? You can pause the video here while you think about that or discuss that with a friend or partner. But I'm just going to move on. Okay, well, you greet the person who answers your call. Say why you are calling. Is it to speak to someone? Say why you're calling. Is it to ask for information? Or say why you are calling, is it to ask for information about the company's products or services? So, general telephone practice. Open and read pages 32 and 33. See the attached documents. Match the telephone queries to the answers on page 32 and then read the useful telephone vocabulary on page 33. This is page 32 and this is page 33. You can pause the video here while you do those exercises. But I'm just going to move on. So, when you are making a business call, what should you do? Well, open and read page 38. Read the sentences. Do you think you should do these things when making a business call? Write yes or no after each sentence. This is that document. You can pause the video here while you are doing the exercise. But I'm just going to move on. So guys, requesting to speak to someone and leaving a message. So, requesting to speak to another person. Open and read page 42. Read the conversation. Who does the caller want to speak to? This is that document. You can pause the video here while you read the conversation. Well, the caller wants to speak to Mr. Lee. So, read the document again and circle the language used to request to speak to someone. I'll pause the video here while you can do that. Okay, I'm just going to move on. These are the answers. So, this is Miss Janet Paul calling. May I speak to Mr. Lee? Actually, this call is rather urgent. I will hold for a few minutes. That's great. Thank you. Did you get those answers? Okay, well, these are examples of formal language, and these are possible sentences that you could use to request to speak to another person. Now, imagine you are phoning a company to ask about their services, but the person you are looking for is not available to speak to you. What language would you use to leave a message? Well, the language and the tone used would be formal. Open the Making a Phone Call and Leaving a Message document. Listen to the conversation between Simon and the receptionist. Play the Making a Telephone Call recording. Fill in the blank spaces on the document. Okay, I'm just going to press play here. You can play this as many times as you want, but I will also attach this to the lesson.
Dialogue 1.
Hello?
Hello, can I speak to Alice, please?
Just a second. I'm afraid Alice isn't in at the moment.
Do you know what time she'll be back?
should be back this evening. Can I take a message?
No thanks. I'll call back later. Goodbye.
Dialogue 2.
Hello?
Hello, it's Simon again. Is Alice back yet?
No, she isn't, I'm afraid.
Okay, can I leave a message?
Of course.
Could you tell her to call me back when she gets in? I have a new number. It's 57...
Hold on a second, let me get a pen and paper. Okay, go ahead.
The number is 579-29003. Have you got that?
Okay, let me read that back to you. That's 579-29003.
Yes, that's right.
Right. I'll make sure she gets your message. Goodbye.
Dialogue 1.
Okay, guys, and this is that document. Okay, so you can play the video back if you want to listen again, and you can fill in the spaces on that document. The answers are on the last page of that document as well. You can pause the video here while you do that, or you can play back the recording if you want. But I am just going to move on with the lesson. Okay. So, useful language then. So, from looking at the two documents and the two exercises that we have done, let's have a look at the language. Well, requesting to speak to another person. When you are requesting, you use formal language, such as not at all, or this is Megan calling from LMETB. You also use direct language, so is Alice back yet? Have you got that? Do you know what time Alice will be back? I will hold for a few minutes. You use modals of permission, so may, might, can. So may or can I speak to, please? And you use the present simple. Actually, this is urgent. The present simple insinuates an urgency or a direct approach. Okay, so if you are responding then, you use a formal response. So you use formal language. How can I help you? Let me check that. Thank you for holding. You use full forms of words. For example, Mr. pronounced Mr. Modal verbs of possibility or advice. Could, would, can, should. Softening language, which we talked about last week. For example, I'm afraid Alice isn't in at the moment. Or I'm afraid Mr. Lee isn't in at the moment. I am sorry, but the line is busy. Should I ask him to call you back? A direct response. Hold on a second, I'll get that back to you. Or I'll make sure such and such gets your message. So, the portfolio or the exam question today then, guys. So imagine you are phoning a company to ask about their services, but the person you are looking for is not available to speak to you. Open the National Pen QQI pages 3 and 4 document. Using the useful language slide, complete call for 3. Write the formal conversation requesting to speak to a particular person in a company. And guys, this is that document, and as you can see here, this is call 3, requesting to speak to another. Take part in a telephone conversation requesting to speak to a particular person in a company. Use formal language. So, for the exam today, we are going to write an example conversation that you would have in that situation. You can use the worksheets that we looked at earlier to help you do that, and you can pause the video here while you are doing that. When you have completed it, type it up and email it to me. I will put it into your portfolio for your exam. You can pause the video here while you complete that exercise. But I am just going to move on to the next exercise. Okay, so imagine there is no answer when you phone and you have to leave a voicemail message. So open and read page 39. Why are these people leaving a message? This is page 39. So, read the examples. Why are these people leaving a message? You can pause the video here while you do this. Now, using the examples on page 39 and the useful language slide, complete call 1. Write a voicemail message leaving your name, company, phone number, time of call, and purpose of the call. So this is call 1 at the top, leaving a voicemail message. So again, guys, write a short voicemail message and email it to me. I will print it off and I will put it into your portfolios. You can pause the video here while you do this, but I'm just going to move on. Okay, so asking for information. Open and read attachment 40. Read the information about Paper Palace and write 5 questions that you might ask. So this is that document. Read the document and write 5 questions that you might ask about that document. Open the National Pen QQI pages 3 and page 4 document again. Using your list of questions and the vocabulary for making a call used in this lesson, complete call 2. Write a formal phone conversation where you ask the Paper Palace a list of questions to find out about the services that they offer. And this is that exercise, so it's call 2, asking for information. Take part in a role-play conversation where you ask another student a list of questions to find out more about the products or services that they offer. So again, guys, you can pause the video here while you write that exercise. Then you can email it to me and I will print it off and put it into your portfolio for you. So, guys, it's break time. So, take a few minutes to have a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and maybe have a biscuit or 2. And I have a second video, so you can click into the second video when you're ready to complete the rest of today's lesson. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Bye.